Lesumbo Adeoye is a multi-passionate entrepreneur, the CEO and Chief Creative Director at ESOP Events and founder of ESOP Heroes. A graduate of accountancy and finance and an alumna of Lagos Business School, she is the convener of the annual Inspiring Change Conference, a platform where she deliberately impacts knowledge, inspires change, and transforms lives of men and women in business with a focus on nation building. A mentor to many and recipient of numerous awards for her dedication and contribution towards progressive initiatives and humanity in Nigeria. She's happily married to Pastor David Adeoye of Royalty Christian Center, where she serves as a First Lady, and they are blessed with great and intelligent children. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, please join me as I welcome the moderator for this panel discussion. Please now, clap, thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll quickly invite the panelists for this session. I have coming up stage Mr. Olawale Ayilara, who is the founder and CEO of Landway Investment Limited. But just before you come up, sir, your audio introduction will play in 3 seconds.
Olawale Ayilara is the founder and CEO of Landway Investments Limited, a real estate investment company employing innovative methods that are disrupting the real estate space. Let us welcome Olawale Ayilara to the Lofty Heights Conference 2020.
Thank you very much, guys. You guys are fantastic. Our second panelist is Mr. Samson Olatunde. He is the CEO of Samson Olatunde Company. His audio introduction will play in a few seconds.
Standing ovation. Let us welcome Samson Olatunde to the Lofty Heights Conference 2020.
You're welcome. Okay, I believe there's so many young people in the house, so we're going to try this one more time. When I say LHC 2020, you say stronger together. Are we ready? LHC 2020. Now, this conversation is going to be guided by the theme Stronger Together. And I'm going to be starting with Mr. Olawale Ayilara. You are a guru in the real estate world and an entrepreneurship. One of the major key issues that most entrepreneurs have in Nigeria and Africa, and I believe all across the world, is market entry. How did you gain acceptance? Because you're young. And when it comes to real estate, I mean, there has to be a track record, a proven results, and all of that. How did you gain acceptance? Can you please share your experience, please?
Good afternoon, everybody. And this might be the only thing I will say here today. But I'm very realistic, and I'll be realistic as much as possible. And when I see meetings like this, what I tell myself is, this is a lot of effort put together, and how much results do people draw from events like this? Because it's not just about coming and then going, and at the same time you come the next year. Now, let me tell you what liberated me. When you are born in Nigeria, you are already at a disadvantage. There's nothing, once you are born in Nigeria, you are already at a disadvantage of so many things. Information, everything, you're already at a disadvantage. Now, I'm not the, if you can think it, you can achieve it kind of person. Let me tell you what changed my own life, and this might be the only thing I will say here. Do you believe that people are poor because the devil is afflicting them? Hold on. How many of you need a breakthrough here? Please put up your hands. If you don't need, put up. You need a breakthrough. Even my own hand is up. If I ask everybody here, I can tell you that 99.9%, what you need is financial breakthrough. True. Am I correct? Owolefe, yes or no? Do you want money? Do you want me to tell you something? How you can get that money? If you want money, two things will give you money. And those two things is not in the power of the devil it is not at all in the power of the devil. If you can do those two things, you will have more than enough. When I came to Lagos, I was cutting in a BQ. You know Lekki BQ? That's not a BQ. Lekki BQ is bedroom in many places. And, yeah, of course, I don't need to even go into my story. If you want to know my story, just ask your neighbor. I believe my story is around. Now, I will tell you what will change your life and what will change your life forever. If what you need is money, and if what you need is truly breakthrough, that breakthrough is money, financial. Now, two things. Number one, the theme of this conference, Stronger Together. Now, number one is you need to be able to sell. Then you need relationship. I'll break it down for you. Tell me any billionaire that you know that is not selling. Or anybody that has a lot of money that is not selling. Do you know anybody that has a lot of money and is not selling anything? Can anybody give me any name of somebody that you know has money and is not selling anything? Huh? So you know that number one, for you to make money, you need to be able to sell. Either service or you sell product. If you sell service, that is skill. You need to be extraordinarily good at it for you to be paid as much as you want. And I'll still talk about relationship. If you are selling products, how you make money is in different levels. You can make money as a retailer, as a wholesaler, or as a manufacturer. The reason why Dangote has that kind of money he has is because he's manufacturing so many things. And he has a lot of people buying what he's selling. And there are other people within the Dangote block value chain that maybe somebody retailing the cement, somebody wholesaling the cement, or somebody even... So there are so many people within that value chain. Now, if you know that the secret to your money is the ability to be able to sell, what you now need is the motivation to sell. See, let me tell you something. I don't need to motivate anybody. Your motivation, you are carrying it with you. Your house rent will motivate you. Your children's school fees will motivate you. Demand already will motivate you. If you are not motivated by that, then you are destined to be poor. If you are not motivated by the hunger you have around you. See, let me I say this everywhere I go, that I went to a public university. Public university, public secondary school. But I couldn't go to a public primary school because at that time, no roof. It was already bad. So my parents would not even try to send me to a public primary school. So I escaped to private primary school, and then public secondary school was, every who is who. They all go to public secondary schools. But by the time we got to SS2, SS3, people were already withdrawing their kids. And then into private school. And then but by the time you are going into university, just by default, you know where you are going. You pick the school, jam will jam you, and then you just pick any school. And then maybe by the time ASU strike, then people started withdrawing their kids to all these private schools. But can you even send your kids to public school? How many of you want to send your kids to public school? So you don't like your school? Ife. You don't like your school again? I thought that guy said, after OU, no other school. There's no other school. Because your competition is global. It's not local. You are competing with people from Oxford, Stanford, MIT, and they are bidding for the same contract. You are bidding for the same job you are bidding for. So how do you bridge the gap? It's hunger. Now, you need to if you want to make money, at the time I was broke. That one is not even broke. It's Brooklyn. And one day, I woke up in the morning and asked myself so where is the money coming from today? And no matter how you scabash, money will not come. If you like, speak from morning till night. God is not a magician. And then inside, Tommy just said, you walked past some 4 vehicles yesterday, go and knock on that door. I think they want to sell the cars. And I knocked on the door. And then the person said, okay, yes, we want to sell these cars. And I put the 4 cars on OLX and I made 70K from each. Have I not sold something? Have I not made money? That's the way it works. So you need money. If financial breakthrough is what you are looking for, go and look for what to sell.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olawale. You've said so much in such a short time.
I've exhausted
For someone
my time.
who, no, you haven't. But I want to be sure that everyone is catching what it's saying. From a humble background, just find what to sell. Be self-motivated and go out and sell it. Please, a round of applause for him one more time. We're going next to Mr. Sampson, and Mr. Sampson is multi-talented. You wrote 20 books at the age of 30. That's amazing. And I know that you also are passionate about helping SMEs. And I like it when I see young people doing great things, okay? But I want to know, what propelled you into doing what you're doing?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I want to say a big thank you to my friend Wale for inviting me. Can we just celebrate? Let's celebrate Wale. 5 years of doing this. I could imagine. I got into business for survival reason. I had 3 people in university sponsored by my parents. I just asked myself a simple question. If I lose my parent, what happens? That means I'm going to be out of university. And then I needed to look for opportunities within the student environment. I went to Olabisi University. I had 5,000 in my class, 5,000 people receiving lectures. Wow. And then there was no PA system, there was no AC, so the first 2 rows, you have to fight to sit on the first 2 rows if you want to hear the lecturer. So I said to myself, if I signed in for business admin, I should be able to run a business not having an extra year. I'm not fighting for first class, but I should be able to engage, employ, and make money from 5,000 people. That was, so Debola talked about purpose, other people talked about passion and all of that. I didn't understand business structuring, how to make money. I just wanted to get myself out of making decisions on my own, making money for myself, helping my parents out. That was what got me into business. So I'm always praying for my lecturers to be late because I stopped lecture to go look for a way to train people how to use the system. As a den, I came from an average family as a den, and so you could imagine that I was collecting 5,000 as my pocket money, and then before 1 week or 2 weeks, the 5,000 is gone. So anytime I call my parents, they know that the last thing I want to say is to ask for money, so they'll just cut off. Wow. And then that was the beginning of a breakthrough for me because I looked at the market and I asked myself, what can you sell? And I realized that the only skill set or knowledge I could exchange for value, for what I want, is for me to teach people how to use the system. I couldn't go to NIIT, Aptech, and all of that. I literally learned how to use the system, trading my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Wow. So my brother bought a Pentium 1 system. That was his only asset. He didn't know how to use it, always covering it. So I had to sit with my mom and him, and I said, if you give me access to this system, I always trade my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
so
then
survival propelled you into looking
business.
For opportunities around you.
Yeah.
You found the opportunity, which is the number.
And the question is, what can
you sell? Like Mr. Olale said, you need to be able to sell something. So you decided to sell the skill that you know, which is tech, digital technology.
Yeah, training people is the same.
I understand that you made your first million even as an undergraduate. Can you tell us about that, please?
Okay, so in the process of starting this, I went to church, and then they gave me access. I couldn't buy a Pentium 1 system. So a friend who was a computer science student gave me his Pentium 1 system. So we started training people in church, and then people started coming to me from one school fellowship to another. I was training people, and I realized that people were coming to me for more demands. They want me to write projects. They want me to do so many things. So I realized that there's a need for me to train myself how to go globally.
Sorry to cut you short. Yeah. You mentioned that a friend gave
me a Pentium 1
So there's always someone working behind the scene who helps others up.
Yeah.
And that's why we're stronger together.
Good.
You also mentioned that your brother had a Pentium 2.
Yes, my brother has a Pentium 1.
Pentium 1, which you learned with?
Yeah.
Wow. So there's always someone in your circle, within your circle, who you need to connect with, who is attached to your greatness, who you need to also locate in order for you to be able to get to the top. Please tell us more.
And then I got to made my first 3 million, and that's $10,000 in the space of 3 weeks, was to go learn how to make money on the internet because I was always doing night browsing every night, and I had Yahoo guys who was willing to teach me how to do the business in a negative way. But I said to myself, if there's a negative part of people spending their time, energy to do this in the opposite way, there should be a positive way of doing business. And that was what propelled me to say, you know what, you need to acquire more knowledge, and I needed to go to Success Digest. For 5 days, I couldn't raise the money first, second day, and then I raised 25,000, went there, acquired the knowledge, and they gave me what we call private labor rights. I think one of the things you should do is to Google private labor rights. Private labor rights gives you access. I mean, it's 100%. If you don't know how to write, you want to publish a book today, all you have to do is go online, look for private labor rights on any industry you belong to. And that was the material that was given to me, over 5,000 of it. And I came back to school.
I really want us to get what you just said. He said something really, really important. Because when Mr. Lawale was asking that, do you know any business person who is not selling anything and yet they're making money? I heard people say Yahoo, Yahoo. But he is saying now that if there's any negative process that is bringing in money and it's not legit, there's definitely a positive angle to it. So instead of wasting time trying to follow those who are doing things in the wrong way, why don't you look for ways with which you too can make something out of that thing by doing it the legit way? A round of applause for both of them, please. I'm still coming back to you, but I would like to go to Mr. Lawale one more time. Mr. Lawale, real estate, under 30 Forbes Africa. This is a perfect profile. This is like something everybody wants, you know. And I understand that you don't just get into a space. Mr. Niyi was teaching us recently, and he said it's either you are born into it, you marry into it, or you go to an Ivy League school. I really want you to be specific. How did you get here?
I'm trying not to talk too much.
Yes, I don't want you to talk too much. I just want you to hit the nail on the head. So that those people who look up to you right now, they really want to know. Because we don't want to read 10 ways to get to the top, 20 ways to take steps. No, tell us the real truth.
See,
like,
how I got here
did
is...
someone pull you up?
How I got here is hunger. See.
So who fed you?
See, if your hunger is strong enough, no will sound like I'm still thinking about it. If your hunger is strong enough, when you hear a no, you think about the advantage you will get in only 1 yes. Because your Mercedes is locked in that yes. Your house is locked in that yes. See, how I got into real estate. See, the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. If you want to do any business, it's just normal for you to study about it. And any sector you want to get into now, there are people already in that sector who are doing big things. And the only way you can gain entry is by you doing only maybe 2 things. Either coming up with a project or an initiative that will advance that industry the way others are not thinking, that will advance that industry, or something that would entirely disrupt that industry.
So it's safe to say you mirror those who are already doing it, but you do it in a better way.
Okay, let me just break it down for you. Now, when I was going to start, I was telling almost every developer I have, I didn't even plan to start real estate. If you ask me, do I have passion for real estate? It's a lie. I don't have passion for real estate.
But you were hungry.
I developed passion for real estate. Okay. You find what works. See, economic survival is different from passion. Separate the two. Passion will not put food on your table.
A round of applause for him, please.
Economic survival. What will I do to bring money? Let's tell ourselves the truth. Me, I will not package anything. Economic survival is different. I know how to sing. It's as simple as that. Can they pay you when you wash car? Simple as that. Now, how I got into real estate is that I started, I wanted to do real estate digital marketing. I saw, digital marketing thing, this thing is even, I was like, okay, let me find one industry. I'd failed so much in life. I'd done about 15 businesses that failed consistently. So I was telling myself that if I have to be in any other industry, money lati blow ni is not. And I was looking for the big money.
So
I wasn't looking for the small money. I was looking for the big money. See, there are only few industries that has big money. there are 10 industries that plug yourself into any of the value chain.
I want to ask
you will survive.
Sorry.
Health, transportation, food.
You see, this record of failure, the record of failure you talked about, I think it had something to do with the push that you had into going into real estate. Because I know there are people here who probably have failed in one thing or another thing, and the fact that they failed before is what is propelling them to withdraw from the economy. And you are saying that failure is actually a push. It should push you, okay? So you should separate the place of passion and then understand economic survival. Did you get that? Okay. Okay, continue. You want him to still say more? Okay, they want more. People are hungry. Give us your menu, please. Do you want more? Okay.
I don't know what to say again now. So, now, see, my stand is this. And you need to understand. I mentioned that 2 things will transform your life. I've told you, find something to sell. See, somebody selling agbalumo will not make as much as the person that has agbalumo farm. Somebody selling Toyota cannot make as much as somebody manufacturing Toyota. Depends on the money that you want. The second thing I will just mention before is relationship. See, Bible says that iron sharpened iron. When I moved to Lagos, I was somewhere in Abeokuta and I was enjoying my Abeokuta. I had 3-bedroom flat to myself and all that. And people of that state, extremely complacent. That was not the life I wanted. They will open their shop 10 a.m. That's what they wanted. Nothing bad. It's a pure civil servant state. It pays them like that. Their economy grows like that. Now, when I moved to Lagos, no offense, all right? When I moved to Lagos, the only place I know people was Mushin. So when I got into Mushin, and I'll wake up in the morning, and I'll be going, I'll see people bathing for their children outside. And, and that time, I was volunteering for Inspirational Consulting somewhere in Lekki. And sometimes I would not have transport to go to work. And Mushi people are very terrible. And when you ask, bros, Shelley, for me, 200 naira, I say 200 naira, 200 naira, 200 naira, 200 naira, 200 naira, 200 naira. Kosisha, why are you searching your pocket? Why are you searching your pocket? And I said, this environment is too harsh for me. And I moved to a BQ in Lekki. Now, you know what that does for you? See, it's not about big space. It's about great places. Because you are looking for 3-bedroom flat that is big. You now go and rent house inside the Kokomaiko, inside. Because you want your sitting room to be big. It's not about big. It's about great places. Now, when that time when I was staying in that BQ, when you come out of a BQ inside an estate and you are jogging, nobody knows where you are coming out from. And they will smile at you. They will be very welcoming because they don't know, because you are in that environment. They think you are part of them.
So are you saying that your environment? No, we have to get it right. He's saying so much and we must get it. I really want you to get it. See, we have quite a number of people and people assimilate in beats. So we must get this. Mr. Lale, I want you to take it in bits, okay? People are eager to learn and I want them to get it. In as much as there's nothing wrong in Mushi, you chose to move to the island so that you can connect with the right network of people that matter to your own destiny.
Iron sharpened iron.
Okay.
Now, when you... see, let me... See, wait now. See, have you seen the devil before? Hello? Have you seen the devil before? Oh, the devil is fair. Have you seen the devil before? Have you seen God before? So you've not seen both before. But the manifestation of both is through human beings. See, it is somebody that will say, Tanafe Funi e Koko Sheo. Then somebody will mention somebody says, Emma, try. Do you know what this person does? No. And then somebody will mention and that person's name and say, let us give him. It is somebody that will mention you. Somebody mentioned Joseph's name. It's somebody. See, now, when you have relationships, I'm not saying, there are difference between relationship and relationship. There are some relationships that will skyrocket your destiny. And there are some relationships that will drag your destiny. You must separate both. See, two poor people has no advantage they are doing for each other. No advantage. Don't say, when you make it, you go and help him. There's no sentiment to it. I let my good friends in Abeokuta, we like each other. We will trek from Quarry Road to Kolobo, from Cricket. We'll be telling ourselves, we will trek. We love ourselves. We'll buy 15 naira pop-off, we'll share it.
On a
I
final
like
note,
Karawa.
Mr. Olawale, I really need you to talk. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
we really need to round this
So,
up.
relationship is just very important.
Very
Know the
key.
relationship you need and know where to get them.
All
All right?
right.
Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause for him. Don't forget, he says that you need to be hungry for more. When you realize where you need to connect to people, you need to move. You need to leave. And then when you leave, don't go and withdraw into your shell. You need to go out and meet people. That it is when they see you and they see your competence that they can recommend you. A round of applause one more time for Mr. Olawale. Yes, Mr. Sampson, you also mentioned the place of relationship. And I understand that there are people who played a major role, key people who played a major role in your growth. You mentioned your brother, you also mentioned your friend. Can you please tell us more about how relationship helped you?
Okay, so I think we should clap for Wale. I'm trying to pick from. Okay, so and then how I made 3 million naira in 3 weeks was I got a CD middle of the night called a printer. And then from there, first thing in the morning, I went to different bus terminals, and I was distributing the flyers. Because in Olabisi University, you have different bus terminals where buses move people to the auditorium. And then I got different calls coming in during when I was in the auditorium. And I had to run out to tell people to come to Motion Ground. Now, that CD I got, I didn't know what was inside. All I just did was duplicate. I duplicated the CD because I just wanted to be out of this poverty level. Poverty and penury, none is good for your life. Yes. The grandmother of poverty is penury. May you never see any of those two.
Amen.
Because of my hunger level, like you said, I was at the photo booth, and then I was selling the CD for 1,000 naira. And in 1 week, I made 100,000 naira. Wow. And I remember that the man said, look for biggest platform where you have followers, and as you're making money, look for a way to increase your turnover. So I placed a full-page advert on Success Digest. That was a 2 weeks newspaper, and people were calling me from different paths within Lagos, within Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, and all of that. And then this was a guy who was collecting 5,000 naira. My account was dormant. I didn't know what was happening, but people were paying to their accounts. So I actually put 4 prices on that advert, and people were paying from 7,500 to 15,000 to 25,000. Wow. And then I got a call from the bank saying that, Ayola, this is something you have to come. Because Yahoo was rampant. So they're saying that, and then when I got, this guy collects 5,000, he can't save, my account was dormant, people were paying there. But the account officer said that people pay for every 2 minutes, people will pay into their accounts. Wow. And as at then, I had close to 1 million naira because I was seeing the alert, but I was afraid to go to the bank. As I said, poverty is a deadly disease. Yeah. And then I got a call from a manager saying that, oh, you this Yahoo guy, you have to get to our office, if not, we're going to arrest you. And then the only thing I could hold was that newspaper. Because as a proof, I couldn't imagine that I had close to more than $1 million in my account. And I got to the bank asking the security, please, I want to see the manager. And they looked at me, manager, come on, go inside and see the customer care.
This is so inspiring because there's so many people, so many young people who would never dare put in the advert of what they're selling on the national newspaper because you assume that it is meant for the people up there. But I usually just tell a lot of people that as long as the people up there don't stop advertising, as long as they don't stop pushing the products out there, you as a startup, nothing should stop you, no matter how small it is. But you said it's not about the money that was coming in before you dared to invest in adverts. It was now the returns that was coming later that made the manager call you. Yeah. That is so inspiring.
And then I got to the bank and said, oh, young guy, what are you doing and all of that. So I placed the paper on his table and everywhere was quiet. And for 5 minutes, he looked up and said, can I pay into this account? And then at that point, I was shivering.
Wow.
I mean, because I had placed another advert on Complete Sports. So as at then, the money was close to like 2.7 million.
Wow.
I couldn't call because I'm sure that if I called my dad, I may lose him. He's 80 years old now. Wow. But because he worked for 15 years, and then after 15 years as a driver, they gave him a plaque and a TV. Wow. And then I tried to imagine that if I place a call to anybody in my house saying that I have 3 million, I mean, my dad, in his entire life, 15 years, there was no 3 million in their account.
Wow. Please tap your neighbor and say, find something to sell. Look into the eyes of another person. Say, find something to sell. Now, this is the anchor part. Please make it legit. Make it very what? Legit. You see, he said something now that really blew me away. It doesn't matter. Your pedigree does not come to play here. It just has to be you. Be self-motivated. Find something around. There are opportunities everywhere. The people you know, the people you know, and all of that. I need to go back to Mr. Olale, but now come back to you. Now, Mr. Olale, we're rounding up now. On a final note, I've asked you 2 questions, and I really need you to answer those 2 questions. I know you have so much to tell us, and I know we want to learn so much from you, but how did you enter this market? How? See, there's somebody here who understands real estate. How can I enter and make this money too?
Talking to training agent on how to make sale. And I had a lot of them. In fact, how I got into that, there's this company on the island, they have a lot of agents. And I called this man consistently for 3 months to allow me share my ideas on how their agents can make sale via digital marketing. Because what they do before was they will stand at the junctions, share flyers, print all those things and all. I'm like, this thing can be, online, Instagram, Facebook, place advert you make. People will call you. And I was trying to get this man for 3 months. But eventually, the man gave me audience. And I said, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to talk to my people about this thing. If they register, fine. If they don't, fine. But I prepared for that 5 minutes as if my life depends on it. I was rehearsing back and forth. So I was given the platform. And I stood up and I spoke to those agents. About hundreds of them registered. That was my first break. 70K. In Abeokuta, when you do training, 5K, you have to stand by the road and call them inside. And you have to do it by force. So them paying me 70K, I was like, this is a lot of money. So that was what I was doing. But because that was what I was doing, I got to know some of these developers and all that. And where I'm coming from, young and all that, we have played with so many ideas. Talati train, coppers and all, we've said all those things. I said, so I was offering advice, and they would tell me, do you think it's easy? Do you think it's easy? Do you think it's easy? Then one time, I had a problem with one. They were like, do you think this thing that you're saying is easy? How can you just come with idea. You just come with idea. I'm like, so what is the big deal about this thing? So from one of the agents I was training, one lady called me up that there's another new company starting out, and then they will need me to give them people that I've trained to help them and do sales. I said, okay, no problem. Then we had this meeting. I told the guy that I will collect 400K per month. The guy said, no problem. Can you walk? I said, no. So the guy said, no problem. Since I'm not even working 9 to 5. Can you on dash you go? So I said, okay, so fine. So I was giving the guy agent, but the guy also was not ethical about the business. We owe agent commission. All these things. We sell land that don't have title. All these things that they do. And real estate has a lot of bad narrative. People have been swindled and all. And these are the data that we're gathering back end. And then we're working on. So one time I told the guy that, see, this is your name. I'm not interested in doing any business with you. But the guy was trying to persuade me because if I decide not to do business with him, I'll move my agent out. And that would affect his sale. So one day I was just thinking that, see, I can ask this guy. Well, at that time, I was already planning to relocate to the US. That, see, let me just relocate to the US and go and do contract marriage, all these things. You guys won't understand. So, contract marriage and all that. Then you get people. So I'd already found somebody, see, when you want to do contract marriage, the person they will find for you.
So in other words, you did it in a better way. With a better structure.
What's that? No. I'm still
telling
my story.
You were talking about your agents.
Wait. Let me tell you my story. So
we're working with time.
So wait, you are the one that wants to hear the story.
Yes.
So
You have just 1 minute.
you want to hear the story? Yeah. Now, so I got
Yes, you were talking about
so
your
I got
agents.
involved with that guy,
Yeah.
and then I told him that I'm not doing again. So one day I was in my house and I was like, okay, wait, you can ask this guy to give you 50 plots and you sell, and then you ask him for extended payment plan. And so the thing was so I went to meet the guy. I said, see, give me 50 plots. I'm traveling to the US. I will sell for my network in the US, and then I'll pay you in 3 months. The guy thought about it for like 1 month. The guy refused to sign anything about any contract about it. But I was pinning him with the fact that if I go, I'll move my guys. So the guy was thinking about it. Then eventually the guy signed on the contract that he will sell for me at the market price. Okay. Meaning that if I sell above, it will be a hard sell. It's the same site. And if I sell lower, it will be a debt. Yeah. So I started thinking about it. So my own strategy was that, and the wisdom God gave me was that I will sell in less than 3 months. I will do it in 20 days, pay this guy half, and ask for extension. The guy will give me extension. I'll ask another 2 months extension so that I will invest the remaining half. And that was my logic I presented.
Round of applause for Mr. Olawale. Did you get that? There are opportunities around you. Okay, let me explain better to you. Okay. If you have a question, I think you would have to DM him privately. Let's have those questions. We have just 5 minutes to round up, and I know there is so much more. So if you want so much more,
let me have the questions.
But you've not finished with the story.
Thank you. Let me
wait. They've heard half story. They know. You asked how I Timoshe blow. So they've not heard the LOW. They've only heard the B. So.
I wish we had more time, or do you want more time? Okay, we will keep Mr. Olawale after the last session, then we'll bring him back up. Would you stay? Okay, now, see, there's so much you need to learn from these two people. We have brought them here because they have diverse experience in different areas, okay? So we need to balance this up. My apologies if we're not able to take everything. But then, Mr. Sampson, I know that mentorship played a huge role in your life, and I understand the place of mentorship as well. Can you please tell us, who are these mentors that helped you to where you are now?
Okay, so I have one of my mentor here. Please help me celebrate Nia this one.
Oh, a round of applause for Pastor Nia.
I remember coming to you. I think I need to stand at this moment. I remember coming to you, and I shared my idea about the fact that I want to publish a book and all of that. And that was the first time. I can't forget that in my life. You gave me the full money to publish that book.
Wow. Wow. I'm sure he can't even remember.
He can't. And then the reality about life is that we must understand that you can achieve so much if you lack the place of mentorship in your life. Yes. For everything I've become today is by the help of God, my knowledge, and the people I have who are mentors. Mentors will help you eliminate all forms of mistakes and errors and help you get to your place of destination on time. Because they've gone ahead of you, so when you're... No, I'm not talking about tormentors. Because they are tormentors and they are mentors. I'm talking about your friends can't be your mentors because both of you are still trying to struggle together. I'm talking about somebody who has gone through that path and then understand the rudiments, the mistakes and all of that, and then helping you out to achieve so much in little time. That's mentorship. So I want to advise and encourage every one of you. You want to blow, but there are people that are ahead of you who have done this over and over again. It's over 10 years I've been in business. I've never borrowed money from a bank. I've written 30 books. I have 4 complaints. Wow. But the reality about it is that I said to myself, there must be something I'm selling in exchange for value. There are 170 billion people on earth. That means there are 170 billion opportunities, 170 billion problems. The question is that you've got your brain. Knowledge is not just power. knowledge is profit when you know how to turn that knowledge and apply it in exchange for solving problems to make money for yourself.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sampson. He said something, and I want you to please remember that. You can't achieve most of the things you want to achieve without mentorship. Mentorship helps you eliminate errors, and of course, it helps you get to the place that you aspire to be. A round of applause for my two panelists.
All right, thank you.
A bigger round of applause, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm sure that everybody would like to stay and listen to them all day, but please, we do not have all day. And a lot of people have asked questions here. Unfortunately, we can't take them all. But I've chosen two because these two questions show that they were listening to the panelists as they spoke. One person wants to ask Mr. Olawale, you started by saying there are 10 strong markets to venture into: food, transport, real estate. The person wants you to list the remaining 7. And then to Mr. Sampson, so what exactly was in the CDs that you were selling? Oh, it's not Yahoo, don't worry.
Okay, so just go to Google. I've been doing it for over 10 years. I published my first 4 books without writing. I sold 4,000 copies, and I made a lot of money. It's still, the business is still on. You can still do it. It's called private label rights. Most of you must have seen that, but you don't know how you make money from it. Private label rights. You can look for private label rights in any industry, consulting, farming. There are people who are freelancers. What they do is that they write, and the only way they can make money is to sell their works. So they give you access. You have that we say right to do anything to the material. You can publish, you can put your name on it, you can do anything to it. And then for my 30 books I've done so far, the first 4 books, I didn't write, I didn't do anything. I just got the book, went to a printer, got an ISBN number, made additions to corrections to whatever I want to do, change dollars to naira, and then put my name on it, make sure that nobody can copy from this book except to get my permission. And I went to the marketplace and I made money for myself. So the reality is that we have access to the internet, we have mobile phones, but most of us don't know how to convert what we see to reality of making money for ourselves. So the information about the CD and all of that is just me having access to private label rights and knowing how to turn private label rights to money for myself. I think one of the things that I can do to help everyone in this meeting is that you should have this, which you should have this. Everybody, you should have this, right? So it's easy. Okay, so ushers will help you. So it's easier. I mean, one of the difficulties we're having now is that we want to engage people across African countries. So let me tell you how it works. You can be writing here. If you're a good writer, you can write here and your client will be in Kenya. I've got that network. You can have somebody who is bidding for your job here, you're a photographer, and the person needs your job, but the person is in Dubai. So what we are trying to do is to create more job opportunities for people. That your skill set, what you know how to do, how can you make money from it without leaving your country, but you are making money and you're doing business with that person outside the country. So I want to encourage you, just take advantage of opportunities.
Thank you very much, sir.
We're in the global world.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Wale, sir. Olawale.
Yeah, I remember the question. The 10
things,
areas.
yes.
I won't say it. Now, no, let me tell you something. Google is the Solomon of our time. Either Google, whatever. You shall know the spelling. Now, that's the Solomon of our time. You can go there and do every research. Do research, but okay, let me say it. What you ask yourself is that, where is everybody's money going? And go and take your own share. When you get your salary, how do you spend it? Make sure that you are plugged within the first 5 areas that takes most of your money. Transportation, shelter, food, clothing, or then you have entertainment, you have health, you have education, all those things. So just go and research it, all right?
Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for our panelist and moderator for doing such a great job. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'd like to call the convener for his gifts, and then we'll go.
So a quick one, I think that we should quickly do this. So you can follow us on @SamSpeaksNow, Send a DM if you're interested. You are skillful. If you're not skillful, don't DM me. You're very good in what you're doing. Video editor, graphics designer. Just send a DM to @SamSpeaksNow, and then somebody's going to speak with you.
Olawale Ayilara.
Olawale Ayilara on Instagram. I don't mentor. I don't mentor. I don't. Please, I don't. I don't mentor. Serious. If you want to have access to me, are you ready to sell real estate? If you're not selling real estate, if you need any advice, if I'm available, I will, but no mentorship. All right? Thank you very much.
Are you ready to make more money? Are you ready to make more money? Send him a DM now. Abi?
Thank you so very, very, very much, Wale and Sam. And thank you so much, Ajabs, for that presentation, for the session. How many of you were inspired? Did you take anything home? Beautiful, awesome. For the presentation of their words to the both of them, I'd like to, do the honors of recognizing one of my friends and brothers in the faith who is amidst us this morning in person of Pastor Emmanuel Ayorinde. So please celebrate him as he steps forward to make the presentation of the awards,
pastor.
to Mr. Ayilara and Mr.
It's always about your
Olatunde.
shoes. It's always about your shoes.
Okay. So, Mr. Olawale Ayilara, very inspiring session. You said you don't mentor, but well, we learned a lot today, and I know we have many doers in the house. So this is a token, a gift to you. We hope that you will put it somewhere conspicuous.
No, he has not put it at the back. When I get into your office, you're in trouble.
And just thank you for showing Nigerians out there who were not born with a silver spoon, that with a little drive and knowledge they can do it. It's very inspiring. So thank you very much. Please put your hands together.
Let's take a shot together. And then from David Wedge. Oh, this is important.
Well, this is from David Wedge. I hear he sends this personally. So please do well to tag him on IG if you can. Thank you. He's a friend, all right? Thank you very much. All right.
So, no, please don't go yet. We are going to take a group picture eventually. And I must feature in that picture. So I will go to the same church, by the way. I'm joking.
Mr. Samson Olatunde, very inspiring session. Thank you for being such an inspiration. I think what I enjoyed about your session is that you've gone through what many people here have gone through. You're not like someone who said he didn't have any help, he only had $1 million to start business. You talked about hunger and drive. Very inspiring. Thank you very much. On behalf of this great platform, we want to say we appreciate you and we hope to see more success in your life. Thank you very much.
All right. Please, can we all come together for a group photograph?
So let's come together.
Yes. Mr. Yes, in the middle, right in the middle.
Okay.
Pastor Irene, are you okay? Okay. Photographer, where are you? Are you on that side? Hold on. Are you ready? Okay. This is the part I've been waiting for. Moji, please, where are you? Oh, fantastic. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our speakers, panelists, and moderator for such a great job.